Hello everyone, another World Cup match day has gone and passed. Earlier today we had Canada 1-0 against Bosnia and Herzegovina, and then the match that I actually watched and that the match I'm actually going to talk about, we had the USA winning 4-1 against Paraguay. Wow, what a statement victory at 4-1. I'm going to be completely honest, I'm not surprised with the fact that the US won. I'm surprised with the manner that they won. I didn't expect it to be as dominant, as complete, and as comprehensive as a 4-1 victory against Paraguay. And to be honest, it could have been more than 4 goals. The US created rather, a lot of chances against Paraguay and could have scored more than just four. For Paraguay, they got the one consolation goal, but really, I mean, from the moment they conceded the own goal at the beginning of the match, they were second best for this contest. And I don't think it's a good reflection of Paraguayan football. They've got some good players, and Ciso, Almiron, of course, who have been notable players in and around Europe in the Premier League. But all credit for this match to the US. Wow, it's been a while since the US has had a result like this. In fact, in recent history, especially in the World Cup, I don't remember much results like this. Under Greg Berhalter, I wasn't that impressed in their previous performances. But Pochettino, for this match at least, again, it remains to be seen whether he can take them out of the group and maybe even to the round of 16 and quarterfinal. But for this match, I was impressed with Pochettino's setup. I like the 3-5-2. I like the patterns that the US created. A lot of running in behind, a lot of running power, and a lot of individual brilliance as well. Pulisic, he threw it back to lock down Pulisic. I remember watching him in the 2020 pandemic in the bubble period where there were no fans, and he was electric. He was unstoppable. And Pulisic, he's been a player where you always say if he's on his day, he's a good player. But he's never been consistently that output productive player. But today, or rather earlier today, he was on his day, and it has to be the level that he shows for the rest of the US matches now. Such a creative player, excellent close control, excellent dribbling skills, great change of direction on him, great agility, and yeah, he created so much trouble for Paraguay. I was also very impressed, of course, by Balogun, man. That goal to make it 3 on his left foot is rifled into the top left corner. There is no goalkeeper on the earth who is going to stop that. Beats his defender as well, forced into his left foot, and wow, what a finish to show for it. So the US make a really good start now. Them and Mexico made that winning start as hosts. So Mexico and the US are the ones that are most likely now to get to that knockout stage. Canada, it remains to be seen. 1-0 draw against Bosnia. A match they probably should have won. I didn't watch it fully, I just caught the highlights. But from what I'm reading online, Canada did create enough chances to actually win that game. And, as a host nation, you would have expected them to win that game. But they're not out of it yet. Again, 3 group stage matches, and if you win one, you're probably in a good position to get to the knockouts as one of the best third placers, and then you just don't lose by a heavy scoreline to the other teams, especially the quote-unquote pot 1 or best team in your group. So the US and Mexico now in a good place for the knockouts. Canada, it's still achievable for them, so I wouldn't hit the panic button just yet. Now, we've had 4 matches in this World Cup, 4 out of 104. Oh my god, I'm already enjoying so much of the action. Yeah, the US game was great. I really expected more from Paraguay, to be completely honest. I didn't expect it to be a 4-1 scoreline. I wouldn't have been surprised if it was a draw, to be completely honest. This is a Paraguay team that upsetted Brazil, upsetted other bigger teams in South America rather, within the past year or so. But yeah, it was a statement victory for the Americans. And again, the US have never been that team where you look at them as a threat. You always look at them and say, they have potential, yes, but will they actually deliver? And time again over the past decades, they've just missed out on delivering when it matters most. I think for the US and for US football, or soccer as they call it, I think they really need a quarterfinal run. Reaching the round of 32 would be good, but it's expected of them. You could argue reaching the round of 16 is also sort of expected for them. They did it last edition and then they went out to the Netherlands. If they reach the quarterfinals, I think that's a very, very, very positive landmark to reach if you're an American soccer fan. Again, it's a growing sport, not the biggest sport. It will never be the biggest sport in the US, but they need national team idols to look up to, and they need national team performances to boost the momentum of the growth of the sport to look forward to. And it just helps. I know, being from the Philippines, being from a country that doesn't have football as its main sport, that we rely so heavily on the national teams performing well to create momentum for new fans to get into the sport, for new kids to start playing for the sport, for them to have idols to grow up on. So it's so important to countries that don't have football as their main sport for the national teams, both men and women, to be performing high. And that's exactly what the US needs. Again, they need to keep that momentum up so that their sport can still keep growing there. So that was it for today's World Cup matches. The matches tomorrow are tasty. I think we have Qatar versus Switzerland to start things off. Decent match. Will I catch it? I'm not sure at the moment. I'm leaning towards no. The match after that is the tasty one. Morocco versus Brazil. Wow, we have the team that finished fourth in the last World Cup against Brazil, who always in every World Cup, Brazil are expected to win. I mean, that's the expectation. 5 championships in this tournament before. They have to carry that weight of expectation. Wow, Brazil have so much pressure on them. It's been a while since they've won a World Cup. But for Morocco, if they're able to bring the 2022 momentum with them for this match, it could get interesting. It could get very interesting. Again, we know what they did against Spain. We know what they did against Portugal in the last World Cup. Similar performance against Brazil tomorrow would make things very interesting. But of course, as always, I'm predicting that Brazil take this one, but I think it will be a close game. I think after that we have Scotland versus Haiti. Interesting game, but I'm going to favor Scotland for that one. But if Haiti springs something up, I would love to see it. Then we have Australia versus Turkey. This is also a very tasty game. You have Turkey, who are a team that everyone always deems as an underdog. And then, of course, you have Australia, who we know what they did in the last edition. Knocked out Denmark. They pushed Argentina, who, of course, eventually became the champions. So yeah, that's it for the World Cup. I am really diagnosed with World Cup fever. Can't wait for more. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more World Cup videos.